Here's a basic HTML page I wrote. If we take a closer look by viewing the source, we can see that it's actually only 3 HTML tags. A header 1 tag, which is this text right here, an image tag, and a paragraph tag that holds this text down here. But it's got a lot more style than we've seen before. Let's take a closer look at this H1 tag. If I click here, you'll see the style that's attached to it over here in this panel. See how the selector H1 matches the tag H1? That's how I'm telling the style I want it to apply to this text. I can add a background color, some sizing, some space around it, and I even get some extra style that I added to the body tag, to this tag, because then it applies to all of my other tags. This is the code in Visual Studio Code. Here's my full HTML file, and here's my full CSS style. You can start to see the pattern of CSS rules. A selector followed by an open curly brace, there's a closed curly brace, and then a bunch of stuff in the middle. The stuff in the middle is the properties. For example, the body tag right now has a background color property set, and it's set to the value of this nice seafoam green color. It's also got a text-align property with the value center, a font family property with the value Arial, so on and so forth. Now, let's write our first CSS tag, but we gotta have some HTML to attach it to. Let's add an H2 tag. After I've welcomed them to my website, I'm gonna tell them how glad I am they're there. I'm gonna save this HTML and see how it looks without any style. As you can see, it's already in the center and it's already got the right font because if I inspect it, it's already inheriting Arial and the text-align center from the body. But if I go back to Visual Studio, I can add some more specific style. Let's add it right here under H1, and we're going to follow that pattern. I'm going to hit enter so it comes after the closing curly brace. I'm going to add the selector, which is H2, because I want this style to apply to H2. I'm going to add an open curly brace, and then Visual Studio will automatically add a closing curly brace for me. I'll hit enter so I have some space. And now let's change the color of the text. How about I want to make this the opposite of the H1 tag. See how when I hit color and hit space, Visual Studio Code shows me all the colors that I have already used, which is perfect because, yeah, I think I want this to be the same color as the H1's background color. I'm going to hit a semicolon after the value, and now I'm going to save it, and now my text is that color. But it looks really harsh on that seafoam green. So let's add a background color. I can add as many properties within the CSS rule as I want. They just all have to be between the curly braces so that it knows to apply them to the H2 tag. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to add background color as a new property. It gave me some quotation marks, but I don't need them. And then I hit enter again, and it's going to give me the selection of colors. I'm going to make this the light color for its background. I'm going to hit enter. It gives me a little preview of the color, and I'm going to hit a semicolon. Now I have a new rule that follows the same pattern as before. Selector, open curly brace, property, value, semicolon, repeat until you hit a closing curly brace. Let's hit save. Let's see how it looks. Much better.